Are you interested in learning about Gig Harbor, Washington from a young person's perspective? If so, then watch this video and never mind them laughing. Hey everybody, my name is Darren Rivers. I am the Northwest Realtor and welcome to Living in Gig Harbor, Washington. I am here with some of my kiddos. This is my youngest son, Tallinn. That's my older son, Kayla. In the middle is his girlfriend, Sierra. And they are on here to help answer some questions about what young people like about Gig Harbor, Washington. Hey, all of my information is right there. So feel free to reach out to me at any time if you have any questions about this video or any other. And let's get started on our favorite things about Gig Harbor, Washington. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm gonna do, and these are probably only gonna apply to my two boys because Sierra didn't grow up here, she grew up in Ashland, Oregon, but I'm gonna ask my kids their favorite things about growing up in Gig Harbor because this is the only place they've ever really lived. They're both in college now down at the University of Portland, but they grew up here. So, Tallinn, let's start with you. What was your favorite thing about growing up here in Gig Harbor, Washington? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to talk.
Okay. Let's see.
And look at the camera.
I would say it's basically like a perfect balance of location, because on one hand you're close enough to everything, but you're also far enough away from everything, in my opinion. It's a 10, 15 minute, 20-minute drive down to the more urbanized areas like Tacoma, or you can go north towards Bremerton, and you have all of the city stuff and all of the stores and all the shops and all the businesses, all the restaurants and all the things that you need in a more populated area. But at the same time, if you wanted to get away from all the hustle and bustle, then you just go a little bit west or a little bit north, and it's wilderness, forest, rural areas, and walking trails, and it's just like, it's a nice place if you want a little bit of both for Washington.
So let me get this straight. That's your favorite thing about growing up here, is that it was easy to get to urban areas and easy to get out of town.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like whenever
Even when you were like 6 years old and I was driving?
Of course I didn't realize it, but thinking in hindsight, like whenever we wanted to go to a restaurant, you guys could take us into Tacoma. Whenever we wanted to go to a pond or go for a walk in a park, then you guys took us a little bit west or a little bit north. And like I didn't realize it, but like we had access to everything that a kid would probably want. If we wanted to go to laser tag, we'd go to Tacoma. If we wanted to go out on the water, we just stayed here, and so on.
There you go. That's Tallinn's favorite thing about growing up in Gig Harbor. Kayla, it is your turn.
I think my favorite thing growing up here is everything is pretty accessible. Like, unlike what Tallinn was saying, going all these different wild places, there's a lot of activities in and around the harbor. Of course, there's all the fun restaurants and food, but there's a lot of family-friendly and activities and things that fit wide age range. Examples, we used to go kayaking a lot over the summer, got to see a lot of wildlife and harbor seals in the harbor kayaking around there. And then there's also all those new activities up in Uptown, things such as now laser tag is nearby, there's a bowling center. There's a lot of different activities to do without having to drive too far. It's a nice 10-minute drive at the max for parents to drive around young children, and it's not too much out of the way. Kids don't get bored in the car.
Okay, moving on to question number 2, and we're going to start with Sierra because she's been in Gig Harbor enough now. Especially, God, she lived here for quite a while just because of COVID. Anyway, so now, current day, what's your favorite thing about Gig Harbor now that you're not really new to this area anymore? You've been around quite a bit.
Yeah, well, like even today, Kayla and I are gonna go down to the farmer's market, and I just love walking around downtown and looking at all the cute little shops, and then also just markets and being able to be outdoors and just kind of leave their backyard and go hiking is really fun.
There you go. Kayla, your favorite thing right now, one single activity.
Favorite thing right now is if you're a big outdoors person, there is, in the surrounding area, it's absolutely full of everything you can possibly into. If you're a mountain sports person, there's several different mountains to ski at, mountain biking, hiking, rock climbing, mountaineering, all that. If you're into water sports, it's surrounded by the Puget Sound, several different lakes. And
so it's basically just easy access to all the activities that you like to do.
Yeah, any sort of outdoor activity, there's going to be something nearby.
Very good. And moving, hold on, dude. Wow. Like, I'm not even gonna bloop this out. This is gonna be part of the reel. So anyway, what is your one current thing right now that you like best about Gig Harbor?
I would say I like that it's quiet. I like that it's close to the more populated areas. Sorry, it's close to more populated areas, but it's still a relatively has a small town atmosphere, which I really like, especially because all of us, we spend most of the year now down in college in more large cities like Portland, etc. And so it's nice whenever I come back up for the summer or for the holidays to not have sirens and cars and horns and all that and construction going on 24/7 whenever I step outside. I like that it's a little bit of peace.
A little quieter, smaller community.
I like how the second you say it's quiet, it's almost like
Oh yeah, no kidding. All right, one last question for these guys, and it's going to only apply to my boys, unfortunately, because Sierra hasn't seen the changes that have happened over the last 15 or 20 years since they've been alive. So Kayleigh, tell me about the biggest change that you've seen since... Kayleigh's 22 years old, by the way, and he's only lived in Gig Harbor. So he's seen a lot of changes over those 22 years. So let's talk about what changes you've seen. All right, Kayleigh, what do you got? Hold on. What do you got?
I think the biggest change I've seen is gotten a lot bigger for sure. A lot of people have moved into the area. And that doesn't just make it more crowded, that has come with a lot of benefits. Uptown basically actually didn't exist when we first moved here, but now you've got everything there is to offer up there, from restaurants to shopping to food. So it's definitely, the town itself is definitely expanded to accommodate this influx of people.
Yeah, you're right. There was no, when we first moved here, there was no Costco, there was no Target, there was no Home Depot, there was no YMCA. All of those things have been added. So yeah, while it's more crowded and we have more traffic and stuff, we have a lot more amenities, and we don't have to go to Tacoma unless we want to, really, because you can get anything you want here. Okay, Tallinn, what about you? What's the biggest change you've noticed in his 20 years? 20 years? 21? What are you? 20. He's 20. I should know this, but he's the youngest. You lose track of that stuff.
Youngest of two.
Okay, in your 20 years, what's the biggest change?
Sorry to disappoint you. What he said.
Same thing he said. There you go. Okay, everybody, from Kayleigh, Sierra, Tallinn, and myself, thank you for watching this video. This was our favorite things about Gig Harbor, Washington from a young person's perspective. Again, my name is Darren Rivers. I am the Northwest Realtor. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And again, all my information is right there. Feel free to reach out, and we'll see you on the next video.